Is London becoming car-unfriendly? That's the question on everyone's mind these days. With a decline in car ownership, the city's streets are seeing a shift in the way Londoners commute. The city, home to over 2.5 million car owners, is witnessing a change brought about by the rise of alternative modes of transport, from bicycles to buses, and everything in between. But while the city adapts, not everyone has the luxury of choice. The elderly, the disabled, or those who rely on driving for their livelihood like taxi drivers or delivery personnel, find themselves caught in a commuting conundrum. Imagine being a driver in today's London. The roads that once flowed freely are now choked with traffic, narrowed down by cycle lanes. The city's efforts to promote cycling have inadvertently created a swarm of cyclists, often cutting off cars at every corner. It's a delicate balancing act, trying to keep your eyes on the road, the cyclists, and the sat-nav, all while stuck in a frustrating gridlock. And then there's the quest for parking, a race against time and space where finding a spot can feel like striking gold. But more often than not, it ends up being a 10-minute sprint to the finish line after a futile search for a place to park. Striking a balance between making London cyclist-friendly and car-friendly is proving to be a tricky task. But it's not just the drivers who are feeling the pinch. The impact of these changes is felt across the spectrum, from the bus passenger navigating the city's public transport system to the cyclist weaving through traffic on their bike lanes. As we delve deeper into the commuting conundrum, we'll hear stories of those living it every day, the challenges, the triumphs, and the never-ending quest to find the most efficient way to move around this bustling city. Let's hear from Vittorio, a security driver, to understand the plight of the drivers. Meet Vittorio Frediani, a 43-year-old security driver from southwest London. Vittorio is no stranger to the hustle and bustle of London's roads. Day in and day out he's behind the wheel, navigating through the city's best and worst. He's seen it all, but lately, he's noticed a shift. London, it seems, is becoming increasingly difficult for motorists. In his own words, roads that used to flow freely have been narrowed so much by cycle lanes that there's always solid traffic. Indeed, London may have become a haven for cyclists, but at what cost? To drivers like Vittorio. His daily commute is a testament to this. Picture this: Vittorio's car neck and neck with a cyclist cruising past Buckingham Palace. But then the cyclist veers off onto a rather empty cycle lane. Meanwhile, Vittorio is left feeling like his car is surrounded by a swarm of cyclists, cutting him off at every corner. "You can't take your eyes off the road for a second, even to check the sat-nav," says Vittorio. Unlike the cyclist, Vittorio can't cut corners. Instead, he finds himself caught in gridlock on the Mall. To add to the ordeal, he spends another 10 minutes in search of a parking space before sprinting to his destination. Vittorio's experience paints a vivid picture of the driver's dilemma in London. The narrowing roads, the increasing traffic, the scarcity of parking spaces, it's a mounting challenge for motorists. But Vittorio's story is not an isolated one. With car ownership in decline, the question arises, is driving becoming a luxury only for those who have no other choice? While the city strives to become more cyclist-friendly, it seems to be turning a blind eye to the woes of drivers. As Vittorio puts it, London might be cyclist-friendly, but it's becoming car-unfriendly. Vittorio's experience highlights the challenges faced by drivers. But what about those who rely on public transport? London's public transport system is its beating heart, heavily relied upon by its residents. The hustle and bustle of the city's vibrant public transport is a testament to this. It's more than just a means of getting from point A to point B. It's a lifeline for many, an artery that pumps life into the city, connecting people and places. However, let's not forget that this lifeline comes at a cost. A journey on the tube, for instance, could cost you £2.90 with an Oyster or contactless card, or £4.90 if you're paying in cash. This might not seem much at first, but for large families, those on lower incomes, or children traveling alone, these costs can quickly add up. For those who find the tube too expensive, buses become their go-to means of transport. With a single fare costing just £1.50, it's a more affordable option. But affordability comes with its own set of challenges. The bus lanes meant to streamline the journey are often shared with cyclists, slowing down the buses significantly. Now let's talk numbers. London boasts a staggering 8,000 buses running on 700 different routes, carrying commuters on their daily journeys. And how many journeys are we talking about? A whopping 1.8 billion journeys each year. Yes, you heard that right. Billion with a B. Public transport, especially buses, is the pulse of London, the rhythm that keeps the city moving. It's a system that, despite its flaws, continues to serve the needs of millions of Londoners every day. But how does this system fare in the eyes of a newcomer? Meet Vicky, a 24-year-old office manager from Southeast London. She's a newbie to the world of commuting, having recently started a new job in the city. Let's see how Vicky, a new commuter, navigates the bus system. Will she find her rhythm in the pulse of London's public transport, or will she be overwhelmed by its pace? Stay tuned to find out. Vicky Allen, a 24-year-old office manager from Southeast London, recently started commuting to her new job in the city. Meet Vicky, a fresh face in the daily grind of the London commute. She's new to this route, new to this routine, and with that comes a certain lack of patience that seasoned commuters might have already developed. Every bump, every stop, every sudden turn, they all seem amplified when you're standing in a crowded bus, clutching onto the rail for dear life. Imagine standing for the entire journey, the constant jerk of the bus making your stomach flip. That's what Vicky faces every day. And though she got lucky one day, scoring a seat during the dreaded rush hour, she soon found herself surrounded by a sea of grumpy faces. The bus filled up quickly, forcing many to stand, their expressions echoing Vicky's sentiments about the ordeal. But the real battle begins when the bus hits the road. The journey is smooth sailing until they reach Hyde Park Corner. Then it's as if the bus turns into a snail, crawling at a pace that would make even the most patient person fidget in frustration. This slow crawl continues the entire way along Piccadilly. Every second feels like a minute, every minute an hour. Vicky often finds herself wondering if they'll ever reach their destination. And let's not forget the cyclists. While they have their own lanes, they often spill over into the bus lanes, causing additional delays. This is a source of frustration for Vicky and no doubt many other bus commuters. They feel it's unfair that their already slow journey is further hampered by cyclists who should be sticking to their own lanes. Vicky's story resonates with many Londoners who rely on buses. But are there any solutions to these commuting challenges? With the challenges faced by drivers and bus passengers, are there any emerging alternatives for commuting in London? Well, the answer is a resounding yes. The city is witnessing a rise in cycling, and with it, the introduction of new cycle lanes. But cycling isn't the only solution. The last decade saw the emergence of ride-sharing apps, which are revolutionizing the way Londoners travel. Cycling, once considered a leisure activity, is now a viable commuting option, thanks to the city's efforts to build more cycle lanes. The benefits are undeniable. It's eco-friendly, cost-effective, and can often be quicker than other modes of transport during peak hours. However, it's not all smooth pedaling. Cyclists often have to contend with erratic weather and share the road with less than patient drivers. Plus, there's the issue of road safety, which is a constant concern for cyclists. Ride-sharing apps, on the other hand, offer a different kind of convenience. They allow you to travel in the comfort of a car without the hassle of owning one. With a few taps on your smartphone, you can summon a ride to your doorstep. It's a great option for those who value convenience and flexibility, but it's not without its drawbacks. Surge pricing during peak hours can make ride-sharing an expensive affair. Plus, there's the carbon footprint to consider. Another key player in this evolving landscape is the electric scooter. They're lightweight, portable, and zippy. It's a fun and efficient way to cover short distances. However, they too come with their own set of challenges, such as safety concerns and issues around public space usage. As London evolves, so does its commuting landscape. The question remains, how can we make this city more commuter-friendly? As we continue to explore and innovate, we can only hope to find a balance that caters to the needs of all commuters, while also keeping the city's infrastructure and environment in mind. The experiences of Vittorio and Vicky highlight the challenges faced by London commuters. Vittorio, the security driver, navigates the city's ever-evolving roads daily. His frustration is palpable as he describes roads once open to cars now crowded with cycle lanes. His journey is a constant battle against traffic, cyclists, and the hunt for elusive parking spaces. It's clear that London, in its pursuit of becoming cyclist-friendly, may be inadvertently creating a car-unfriendly environment. Vicky, on the other hand, represents the bus commuters. As an office manager new to the commuting scene, she faces the trials of public transport. Despite the relative affordability of bus travel compared to other methods, the journey is not without its perils. Unpredictable bus schedules, crowded commutes, and routes slowed by cyclists all contribute to her daily struggle. These stories are not unique to Vittorio and Vicky. They echo the sentiments of countless Londoners navigating the city's complex transport network. Car ownership may be declining, but for many, driving is not a choice but a necessity. Similarly, while public transport is the lifeblood of the city, it comes with its own set of challenges. However, the emergence of alternative transport modes offers potential solutions. The rise of cycling and the introduction of dedicated cycle lanes are positive steps towards a more sustainable commuting environment. Carpooling and ride-sharing apps also present potential avenues to reduce traffic congestion and carbon emissions. But these solutions are not without their own set of challenges. Safety concerns, infrastructure limitations, and the need for regulatory frameworks are all issues that need to be addressed. The balance between promoting alternative transport modes and ensuring the viability of traditional ones is a delicate act. As the city continues to evolve, it's clear that the journey to becoming commuter-friendly is a long one. But with continued dialogue and innovation, a solution may be just around the corner.